Very good. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Let's take right hand in a fist, please. Left hand straight and pull back the thumb with the feet together, the hands together, and press forwards. Lovely. So we're going to begin today with some silk reeling as warm-up. Silk reeling is your repetitive movement designed to teach the body the flow of energy and the flow of movement, the mechanisms of rotation that we have in Tai Chi. So let's begin, please, with our feet together, lengthening up through the very top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. And let's just take a few moments to breathe and calm, releasing, relaxing down through the body. Listening behind. Let's gently press the fingers down and release belly, hips, and knees. We're using this as warm-up. We're going to take right hand to the waist and mirroring, left palm forwards and touching, fingers touching the center line. We're going to look left and we're going to step open to the left. We're going to start with the exercise I call teapots. So we gently, as if we were about to turn, but we're hitting a barrier and instead sliding up the center line and release, slight turn to the right, feeding into shoulder, elbow, hand and fingertips. Notice how boxy the position is, hand above foot. Now we release the little finger edge and let the spiral rotate up through the arm down to the waist and glide across to center. Let's try that again. As if to turn and release. Shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Little finger releases, rotating the arm. Let it sink and glide across. I'm going to come forward so that you can see this in more detail. Ready? So gliding up through center and release. Feeding into shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips, and release little finger edge, rotating and sinking the arm down and glide across. So yes, the weight does change. You'll be more on your right foot here and feeding into your left foot. Full on twist, releasing little finger and glide across. Now, Grandmaster Chen refers to this as the more direct route. It's a quicker sequence of energy flow. So energy to fingertips, zipping back up the arm down to waist and back to center. Up the back, along the arm to the fingertips, zipping back up and back to center. We're still employing this idea of full-on twist on the way out. The thumb edge is fully rotated and full-on twist here, palm faces up. Good, let's change arms. Allow the arm to rotate and sink. Notice the weight shift, but it is subtle. There's not a big traveling movement. Now we want to listen and feel into the body. Let your weight naturally shift. Feel up the back. Cross. Release and turn. Down to the waist, into center. As you lift, the opposite side shoulder may rise. So think of the opposite shoulder sinking, shoulder and hip sinking. So as your right side comes up, think of sinking the left side, and that keeps things level. That's subtle. Don't worry about that if you're struggling with the movement. Good. And on the next movement, as you feet across, bring the opposite foot closed. Well done. And relax down. So that's what I lovingly refer to as teapots. Just empty my pockets here. Good. Okay. So let's move on to the large spiral. So we begin the same way with our feet together. We lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Let's take a deep breath. And sink, release, relax down through the body. And again, deep breath. Calming down. Let's lengthen the fingers to the floor. Release, belly, hips, knees. Let's take again, right hand to waist. Left palm facing up, touching the center line. This time we take a slightly bigger step. Make sure the feet are level at this stage, and then we're going to slightly turn out your left foot. So this is an asymmetrical practice, the large spiral. We're going to roll the arm over as we breathe in and feet across into shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. looking beyond the hand. Now, because your toe is turned out, your arm can go further with your hand above your toes, if you see what I mean, in line with the toes. Now we release the shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips, and do a little scoop. The blade of the hand scoops down and round to the back corner, feeding the weight across. The arm comes above the leg, and turning to the front, we roll the arm up. To repeat, feet across, shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Turning the waist, scoop. Feed the weight across, arm above leg, and turn to the front. Feed the weight across, and turn, scoop. Feed the weight across, and turn to the front. Feed the weight across, and scoop. Feed the weight across, and turn to the front. Keep going. So here the energy is in center. As you turn to the front, the energy flows up the back. Shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Back up the arm down to waist. And return to center. So with this exercise, we never go beyond facing front. We don't actually turn at all to the right. It's like you've turned the whole practice somewhat. So we're to the corner, arm above leg, and turning to the front. That's a turn. Feet across, turn. And here you're traveling arm above leg and squaring to the front. Good, have we got it? I think I'll come a little bit closer. Maybe keep going, please. Bring that, see the microphone, but so that you can see somewhat closer. Shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips, turn. Wide across and roll up. Good. Now, the nature of this practice is that you're meant to do it a lot. And by doing it a lot, we get smoother, we get more confident, we become more attuned to what's going on inside the body. So we do this with beginners, and beginners lap it up, which is great. But then as people become more experienced in Tai Chi, often they get tired of silk railing and they want to do lots of form, which is understandable. But actually, by practicing this stuff, we get good. We actually become polished and more tuned in our movements and our connection with our energy. So if ever you need to practice some Tai Chi, practice this. silk reeling in general, not just this exercise. Good. Feet across and come in. Lovely. And relax down. And I'm going to move the mic so it'll make a noise. Sorry. There we go. And let's do it on the other side. Okay. Again, sorry, noise. All right, okay. So let's do the other side. I'm nice and close so that you can see in detail. Let's see if you can get it crisply. Let's lengthen up through the top of the head, chin down and back. Deep breath and calm. Release belly, hips, knees, one hand to waist, the other palm facing up, look and step. Good, so make sure the feet are level at this stage and then turn the toes. Now I asked this about this, when you turn your toes, do the toes need to be level? And the answer is no. You go into horse stance, that should be level, then the toes turn out and they are where they are. Don't shift the foot again. Okay, are we ready? And rolling up. Shoulder, elbow, hands, fingertips. Spiral. Feed the weight across. And roll up. You may notice there's an incredible soothing quality to silk reeling. Let your breath flow. If you're like me, you may find that you want to do it perfectly. I'm a perfectionist, and it's a blessing and a curse because it's not possible to do Tai Chi perfectly. But driving towards perfection will help you. So do your best, and when you realize, oh, there was a mistake, good, grist for the mill, that helps you next time, see if you can do better. And so the repetitive nature of this really helps. That you can polish out each little imperfection. Continuously aware, listening, feeling, and letting go. Dealing with the movement as it happens, not dwelling on what happened last time, but just trying again. And again. And again. Last time. Good, well done, and relax down. Easing from your stance, please. Remember, it's very important to try to avoid the body bending as you do your silk reeling. It's all too easy to bring that in because the arm is rising and falling. For some reason, people don't tend to bend backwards as they lift their arm, but often I see this kind of dipping of the body as the arm lowers, and we want to avoid that. So the body simply turns on its spit roast line, as my very first teacher used to say. So you're keeping the beautiful elevated top of the head, the beautiful line down through the center. So even reminding yourself by just doing that little drum exercise can be very useful. We're keeping the length and the upright nature of the body. And then we can throw the arms up and down wherever. It doesn't matter, but we're not letting the body go with. So be careful with that one. Okay, so we're nearly to the end of silk reeling 2, the chancel gong 2. You know the second silk reeling because there's no leg work apart from the leg work. We'll get there. So the last one is the small spiral. I call it the funky chicken because when you do it fast, it looks a bit like a chicken. But we have 2 directions. We want to place the blade of the hand on the iliac crest, on the top of the hips. So if you put your hands on your waist and press down, you'll feel your hip bones. We want to sit on top of the hips. I think with modern day waistlines, people think the tops of their hips are down here somewhere. No, that's the top of your legs. We actually want to go way up here. Good. Now we're going to do the forward and down, back, up and over circle first. So maybe just have a little play with that. Can you imagine a ball in your center and it is rolling down the front, underneath, up the back, over the top and down. So we want to think of rolling the ball about just within its cradle of the pelvic cavity. So we're rolling up and over. So I know it looks a little bit like a pelvic thrust, but it's in a circular direction. This is what's called movement 2 in Tai Chi. Movement 1 is turning left and right. Movement 2 is moving on the vertical plane. Good, so that's the movement of the body. And what we want is this ball to roll, but the rest of the body to just remain nice and relaxed, and so the rest of the body will also move. So you end up with a kind of inchworm type rippling up your back. And when we engage the arms, it's that rippling up the back, that kind of motion that's actually causing the arms to move. So I'm going to show you the choreography of the hands, but then we want to think of it being the body rippling that causes the hands to move. So this is very direct. The teapot exercise was more direct. This is very direct. So the energy is going from center to the palms and back again. Very, very quickly. So we don't have to worry about the journey. We just feel hands, belly, hands, belly. So we're going to start, we're sitting on our hip bones. We're going to start by pointing the fingers down. And as we do that, we're already releasing the energy down the front. Now we're turning the fingers to point back and think of the energy as actually coming underneath the body. The fingers pointing up, and that's sending the energy up the lower back, and then rotating round to finish back where we started. So I'm going to come real close so that you can see this. I'm sorry if it looks a bit strange, I know it does, but this is the practice. So fingers point down, energy goes down the front. Fingers point back, energy underneath. Fingers point up, energy up the back, and untwist and return to center. So each time we return to palms against the belly. Let's go again. Underneath, up, over and down. Underneath, up, over and down. Breathe. Now, if you watch the masters do it, they tend to push into their bodies with their hands. They have this kind of push. I don't do that because I'm hypermobile and it hurts. And I asked, I said, Master Chen, that hurts me. I'm hypermobile. What do I do? And he said, oh, okay, do it gently. So that's what I do. So you can push as hard as you like, but you might want to start gently like this. Good, so that's the idea. As the hands are touching the center, the body, the energy is in center. As the hands are cupped facing up, the energy is in the hands. So once you've got the idea, you can go a bit faster. Keep the knees nice and loose and relaxed. Breathe. You see what I mean? That the body ripples, and that little ripple, inchworm type movement, is what drives the arms. So the center always drives the movement. Good, and rest. Good, have a shake out. Now it's nice and warming, that exercise. It's also pretty tiring, I think, but it's very, very good for you. It builds strength. So yin and yang, we've done forwards, now we need to do backwards. So it's the same principle, but instead of going down the front at the beginning, we're going up the front at the beginning. We're going round, and with the back of the hands pressing into the body, down the back, untwist and return to center. Okay, so up, over, down, and back to center. Up, over, down, and back to center. Up, over, down, and back to center. You may feel as you do this practice that the belly gets kind of full. It feels full. It may even slightly expand. It does not mean that it's making you fat. It means that the energy is pulling and strengthening, fortifying in your center. So for a Tai Chi practitioner, that's golden. Very quickly, the energy will dissipate. So don't worry, it won't stay full or bigger for any length of time, but it is powerfully rotating in center. Relax your arms. Relax your body, up, over, down the back, center, up, over, down the back, center. Breathe, relax your shoulders. Good. So I often say that a lot of exercises in Tai Chi you could do standing at a bus stop. I wouldn't do this one. In fact, if you're practicing this, I would pull the curtains and lock the doors. Because the funky chicken does look a bit funky, but it's very, very beneficial. So let's relax and down. Good. Okay, so that is your second direction. First direction, the ball rolls from left to right. Second direction, in Tai Chi, the ball rolls forwards and back. And there is no third direction, apparently. We just say combination. So any movement that moves on the diagonal is a combination of movements 1 and 2. So that means you can roll your ball in any direction, kind of like winding a ball of wool. You can wrap it any direction. And it's either 1 or 2 or a combination of both. So we're really looking at the building blocks and the mechanics of how the body functions within Tai Chi. So yeah, and it's fun. It looks strange, but it's fun. Okay, so let's do a little bit. We've only got the legs left of Silk Railing 2. We're just blasting through the whole of Silk Railing 2 as a nice little revision. Great wee exercises in themselves. As I say, they're the building blocks. Silk Railing is building blocks of Tai Chi. So let's take the hands to the waist. We're going to lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, release belly, hips, knees. Let's take the weight into one side and be careful to keep those hips level. This is the difficult part for me, is the hips staying level. So we want to sink rather than lean. Sink into it. And what we're going to do is little circles. Now you can use a tabletop or the back of a chair or a wall even if you want, but we're doing little circles. And again, we think of sending the circle from the center down the leg, just off the floor. Good. keeping those hips level as possible. Good, and change direction, so we're going inwards. So very similar to our Chen style warm-up. You can put your foot down at any stage if you need to. We're just off the floor. Good, and this is brilliant for building strength and helping your balanced centers get stronger. Good, and rest over to the other side, lengthening up, releasing down, keeping those hips as level as you can, and circle. You see, I start by just touching the ground each time as I come in, just until I get the feel of it, and then just off the floor. Good, so there's leg silk reeling as well. Let's change direction. Keep those hips as level as you can. Very good. And rest. Well done. Ease from your stance. A little shake out. Good. You can probably work out what's next, can't you? Next, we have the aerial version of the same thing. So let's lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Again, a chair, a tabletop, something, a wall is fine to have it there for a little bit of help. Have it to your side, not in front, not behind. I've seen people trying to do it holding onto something behind them. That's not good. Beside. Ready? Hands to waist, or you can use them just to steady yourself like this. We lift the knee, keep those hips level, and now we're doing the same thing. But higher. So again, we want to think of the energy, going from center out and in. So it's not just moving the leg, it's not just from the knee, the whole leg moves, but of course, the further down, the bigger the movement gets. Let's change direction, coming inwards. Try to keep those hips level. Keep breathing. Good, and rest. Easing from your stance. Little shake out. On the other side, we lengthen up. Chin down and back, release, relax down, hands to waist, lifting the knee, and circle. Think of the whole leg moving, and the energy here, as the leg goes outwards, the energy is going outwards. As the leg makes its inward journey, the energy returns to center, so it's sliding up and down the legs in a spiral. Good. Have we changed direction? No, let's change direction. Keep breathing. Keep those hips as level as you can. And rest. Well done. Good. So that, dear friends, is the whole of silk reeling 2. I hope you have enjoyed this practice. It's a great wee workout. On days maybe where you want to practice but you can't remember choreography, look at this. It's so simple that you just get a few movements under your belt and then play with them. And it's very, very useful. Even if you're just wanting to polish your skills, it's an excellent alternative to form. And you might want to introduce it, as we did today, as warm-up. But that's a thorough warm-up. Okay, so we're going to leave the silk reeling 2 for now, and let's finish with a bit of our Immortals form. So no Phoenix today, just straight into the Immortals. And we had been looking at our Taming the Flood. So the underneath and the up and over. So let's just do that from the beginning to there a few times and see if we can further consolidate the beginning of the form. All right, so let's begin with our feet, heels together, toes slightly apart. We lengthen up through the top of the head, chin slightly down and back. Take a few breaths, calming down. And as you do, very good. Are we ready? We press the fingers to the floor and scoop. Left hand under. Expand, heel and step. Flip the toes, sit back. Turning in and step. In and back. Knees towards each other and step. Roll the ball and step. Turning to the right. Gathering. Right toes in. Step diagonally back. Turn, turn and expand. Lu. Ji. An. Flying dragon, we step. Turn, turn. Step. Step. Fix the front foot. Lock and step through. Fingers strong. Taming the flood. Left shoulder back. Right hand up and over. Turn, turn. Step and expand to the diagonal. Turning on the left heel, gather. Up and over and step. Left toes in, scoop. And lift. And right. Good. And rest. Well done. Let's do it again. Ready? Check posture. Relax to center. And scoop. Good. One more time, then we'll check in with you. Ready? Ah. Good, and rest. Well done. Okay, so that's 3 times through what we've done so far. How are we doing with that, folks? Do you want to come and give me some feedback if there's anything that's completely falling away or anything that's not sure about?
Yes, I felt that I did every single one of them differently. The first couple of moves are okay, but once we start turning round,
Mhm.
you only got to forget where to put your feet or your arms, and then, well, for me anyway, it's chaos after that.
Right, okay, yes, I get that. It's, as I say, it's very heavily influenced, I think, by Bagua, which is the circle walking, but you know, it's a kind of tornado of movement with lots of stuff going on. So yeah, there's a lot happening all at the same time. That's a sort of trait of Master Locke's choreography, of his way of doing things. Of course, all Tai Chi, we say if one thing moves, everything moves. But in general, it tends to be a little bit less
Yes.
everything in all directions all at the same time. You know, in fact, there's a film on Netflix at the moment. It's a Chinese kung fu film, action film called Everything Everywhere All at the Same Time or something like that. I'm not sure if
Yes,
you've
I
seen
think
it.
I've seen it. Yeah, with Michelle.
Kwon, is it there? Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You know the film. And when I looked at that, I thought, oh, that's very Master Lock. You know, it's everything all at the same time, everywhere. Yeah. So it just takes practice and a little bit of guidance. So fair enough, we'll do it again. I'll give you some just little pointers about where the feet are and hands are, and we'll just kind of put little markers down as we go. And hopefully that will clarify where you are and what you're doing. Juanita, what about you?
Yeah, bit of the same. It's more my hands. My feet seem to move okay. My hands don't know where they're going. So
Right,
yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, I'd rather it that way than the other, that if your feet know where they're going, you have a good chance with the rest of it. Say if the feet are right, you're half right. But if the feet are wrong, nothing's right. But anyway, let's get up again. If you pop yourselves back on mute, we'll get up again and we'll just put little markers down with foot position and hand position. Okay. So heels together, toes a little bit apart. Let's lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. We're going to take a few moments just to calm and breathe. Let's lengthen the fingers down. Scoop. Right heel out. Step out. And now the toes flip one at a time, right, left. And sit back. We're turning right toes in and releasing the left foot to empty and step for bow stance. Feet together, right foot pulls back, right hand back, knees together, and stepping back, right hand presses forward. So you get that two-way direction, hand and foot. Roll the ball through center, step right. So again, you'll feel your left heel and the left blade of hand pressing away. Now we have our first turn, so we're gathering to the right, lifting the right hand, and as you turn your body, the left shoulder coming back, your right toes turn in, you're gathering into your bowl shape. You take your weight into your right foot, release the left foot and step to the diagonal, over to the left, and turning the right toes in, keep turning, and the left toes out, and there you are into pung. So we finish with the left toes pointing in your direction to your corner. Loo, we roll back, come in and press with a half step, G. Stepping back, and we do our rolling up through the body and half step as we fill forwards. Now we have our next turn. We're going to step, right hand coming down, and turning the left toes in as you gather your arms. Right toes turn out, arms swing up. Left foot steps, toes turning in. Right foot steps back and fix the front foot as the arms sink down. So now your left hand and foot are level. They're in line. Good. Block. Come through center and step right. Yeah. Good. Our next turn, the left shoulder is turning back. The right hand coming up over the head facing up as the right toe turns in. Release the left toes, turn the body, turn the left foot out and step underneath yourself so the arms are crossed. And now we expand everything to the diagonal. Hands in line with feet, elbows in line with knees, shoulders with hips. We turn on the left heel, gather, up and over, and expand and sink down. Left toes turn in and release. We step right and take a little half step left. Good, and rest. Okay, let's go again. One more time. So heels together, toes a little bit apart. We lengthen up through the top of the head. Take a breath. And calm. Press those fingers down. Let's scoop. Right heel out. And turn the toes. Right toes in. Release. Dragon into the ocean. Knees together. Step back right. Right hand forwards. Roll. Step. Gathering to the right. Right toes in as you pull your left shoulder back. Step your left foot to corner. Turn the feet. Turn, turn. Hung. Loo. G. And. Flying dragon, ready. We step. Left toes in, right toes out, swinging the baby up over the head. Left toes in, step, right foot back, fix the front foot, relax down. Block and step right. Right toes in, right hand, palm up, release the left toes, turn on the heel, step and expand. Gather. Turning on the left heel, up and over, expand. Turning on the left heel again, left toes in, release right, and step. And rest. Good. Okay, how did that feel? Was that a bit better? Yeah, thumbs up. Great, lovely. Okay, well, we'd better wind down. That's an hour. Okay, so let's just take a few moments. Breathe, relax. You're doing very well. It's a form to get your teeth into, isn't it? Yeah, but I always think whenever you sort of ramp it up, on a form, then when you go back to the other forms that you do, they seem so much easier. Isn't that funny? My stepdaughter was saying she was practicing her piano, and she says, you're meant to practice makes perfect, but I find sometimes when I'm playing, it gets worse. And going, yeah, but if you didn't practice, would it get better? No. But the more she plays, the more she knows what it should be. And in general, she improves. And we're the same. So actually, even though it may be difficult, you'll find that the other stuff that you thought was difficult before has become easy in comparison. Let's go to the legs. Knees, lower legs, ankles, and feet. And up you come again. But sometimes when you practice, it does feel like you're going backwards, so it's not improving. But every time you practice, you're helping yourself. And she often says, when I'm practicing, it doesn't sound any better, but then after a day and I go again, it is better. And that's part of learning, that actually we learn in between. After we've done the practice, our system processes what it's done. And then when we do it again, it's better. So it all helps, it's all good. Shake out, please. Even on the days you think that you're getting nowhere, those are the days that you really need to just stick at it. Heel taps. And stand. Breathe and listen to your body. Guiding your hands to center. Feeling the touch, the energy flowing into your center. Feel your energy is stronger. Very well done, everyone. Relax your arms down. Let's salute. Thank you for joining me today. Happy practice, and I'll see you next time.